So I close my eyes and I imagine a door. It's a wood door, like a brown wood door with green trim and a round brass knob. And I open it up and it makes kind of a noise as I open it, and it's because the inside of the room is just like a coarse black fur, like a giant shag carpet. But then I realized that the fur is actually one of those like nests of spiders, that it's all spiders. And then the spiders get everywhere. But instead of being like frightened, I'm just like disappointed. I'm like, why you gotta be like that, spiders? So I close the door. So that's the first one of my meditation notes.
Are these just things that you like made up, or?
Yeah, I was sitting in a field, an actual field, because I was out at a park, and it was a little after dark because it was at it's a whole thing, but I was sitting there and I was trying to do a thing that my little brother was talking about, where you meditate and you imagine doors. And then you open the door, and basically it tricks your brain into coming up with something neat.
Your brother meditates?
Yeah, younger brother.
Cool.
And so I was trying that, but my brain was like, no, I have a mild headache, which means I'm not doing anything productive. And I'm like, okay, what's in the door though? And it's like, I will make up nothing but weird stuff. And so I'm like, haha, I tricked you into doing something cool. So wow. Hey everyone, welcome to Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Trilogy. We're on the extra super duper deluxe,
like a DLC mission thing.
Either that or it's what if it's the first chapter of the second game?
Is it?
It might be. Nah, then it wouldn't be called episode 5, or would it?
No. Would it? Hang on, I'm gonna look this up real quick. Phoenix Wright episode 5.
Wait.
Rise from Ashes. 'Cause now you got me like, what if they do that though? Like, would they do that though? Would that...
Let's just double check on that.
Yeah.
While you're looking that up, no, wait, hold on.
'Cause like, it's the Phoenix Wright trilogy.
Just look up Rise from the Ashes.
I am.
Oh, I get it, because you're Phoenix Wright and you're rising from the ashes. This is a Phoenix Wright.
Notifications.
Because he's a phoenix, right? I'm glad that's what got you to giggle.
It took me a minute.
Man, you know what's... last episode, the episode before that, got some of the best, like, laughs out of me.
Oh, dude.
The episode before last, let's see, this one's 52, I think?
Uh-huh.
So, yeah, about 41 minutes through episode 50, where, the one where it's like, where it was talking about Descent into Midnight, the tabletop game that is probably out by now. And it was like, oh, you play as any, like, weird ocean-dwelling creature. And then in the voice of the judge, I was like, okay, his character sheet, I see you're playing a vent worm. How would you play a vent worm? And Lujack goes...
just make him Karate Kid.
Yeah, no, he's a vent worm, but he knows karate. He knows all of the martial arts.
All of the martial arts. He
can grapple with his head. He's very good at flipping people because he's anchored to the stone. But like that just that got me.
Oh yeah, man,
that was good stuff.
That was good. Okay, so wait, season 1, the first Turnabout Sisters, and then like more Turnabout Sisters, Turnabout Goodbyes, and then Turnabout Promise. The fuck is Turnabout Promise? Reunion with? Oh wait, is this the anime? This is the anime. That's why that doesn't make sense.
Yeah, oh right, because they're called episodes in the game.
In the game, that's why I was looking up. No, my favorite one was
What
when
if
you were.
in the anime they called it levels?
I don't know, man. My favorite one was when you were like, what if when you were talking about Far Cry and you were like, what if drugs,
Oh yeah.
but
Far Cry.
not?
Far Cry asked the Far Cry series asked important questions like, what if drugs, but not? That's the thing. Far Cry has never really said anything precise about drugs being a thing or not, because it's like drugs maybe, but no, but also possibly.
Man, all I want is to just hang out with Yogi and Reggie and just smoke up big bunch of joints.
Just as long as their stuff is like pure and legit, because like under normal circumstances with like two stoner guys, I'd be like, oh yeah, it's pure and legit. But like the fact is, you're on an island where they grow opium, so I'd want to be absolutely sure that where they were getting it wasn't like 50 feet to the west.
Yeah, fair point. Also, I would want to like not be drugged on top of doing the drugs.
That is the one thing that I think we've learned from experience throughout Far Cry, is that when it comes to Far Cry in universe, drugs in universe tend to give you powers unless someone else is just throwing them at you, in which case they're just very annoying. So I guess the main thing is, what's more important than saying don't do drugs is don't give other people drugs that they don't want. That's just not okay.
Dude, speaking of Far Cry, we found the pizzeria.
Oh, we found the pizzeria.
We found the pizzeria.
No, it gets better than that. No, we were driven to the pizzeria.
Okay, let me tell the story. So I was playing Far Cry with Taylor, right? And I unlocked the ability to have two companions, but then I realized that I couldn't do that while I was playing with him. So I switched Jess out for like a different companion. I think it was Cheeseburger, I want to say.
Yeah, and when you switch them out, they don't disappear. They just literally walk away.
Leave. So we were in a fight, and then we were done with the fight, and then we left, and we just kind of we went. We found a fight, and in the middle of the fight, there was Jess, right, who I had just dismissed, who was getting in a vehicle, and I was like, we gotta get in that vehicle.
Basically, they have their own scripting where I think they'll despawn at a certain range, but as long as you're next to them, they just kind of keep on doing whatever they're doing.
Yeah.
So Jess gets into the driver's seat, and I hop into the back, like literally just
jump in there, and I get into the passenger seat.
I really like that it works. Like you can just stand in there, because like in like GTA you can't do that. Where if you're standing in the back of the truck and it moves, eventually you just kind of ragdoll and fly out. But you get in the passenger seat, I get in the back, and she just starts driving.
She just drove us.
You're like, wonder where she's going. Is she actually going to go somewhere? Like we did.
Well, because
we weren't sure.
Beforehand, we knew about the pizzeria. For those of you who don't know,
I didn't know that you knew about the pizzeria.
Oh yeah, I knew. So
I think it's in Faith's region. There's a place called 8-Bit Pizzeria, and it's an unmarked location. And it's not important to any like missions or anything.
It's just where your companions go to hang out.
All of the companions in the game hang out there for no explicable reason.
So we got in the vehicle, and the whole time Jess is driving, I'm like, are we actually going to see the pizzeria?
Yeah,
is this actually happening?
Because I went to the map, and we were heading in the general direction. I was thinking, okay, well, we're close enough that I'm gonna wait to see if this happens, because I don't want to be just driving endlessly. Like I didn't know that she'd actually go there, but she actually went there. She drove all the way there. She parks the car and gets out and walks in with everyone else there.
But it gets even better, because when we went in, there was no one there.
No one there.
And then they just spawned in.
Oh yeah, they all spawned in at the same time.
They were just like, hello,
in a cluster in the backyard.
And then Taylor Taylor punched one of them.
I punched Adelaide because I was literally sandwiched between Adelaide and another character, and I couldn't get out of the kitchen. I was stuck.
And then it was
I was like, please,
2 minutes of it trying to kill us.
I was like halfway through the thresholds of the kitchen and the back room, and I was like, I'm stuck. And for some, oddly enough, for all of its polish, I think they forgot to add the like script where like someone will like notice that you're bumping into them and then walk out of the way.
And what I love is that it isn't just that you attacked Adelaide and she fought back. It's that you attacked Adelaide and
everyone started shooting at us. Now, I know a thing or two, because of my experimentation, I know a thing or two about how that works. Basically, if you like throw a rock at a buddy, they'll find it like annoying the first time, and the second time it'll count as like damage, and then they'll fight you. And they work just like an enemy as a hostile, except with a much shorter attention span. So sometimes they will notice you, but they won't shoot, and sometimes they'll notice you and shoot, but as soon as you break line of sight, they'll just kind of be like, oh, okay, I guess the fight's over. Yeah. Which I think is fair, because it gives just enough realism for them to like shoot you when you're being a jerk, but also not that suddenly, oh yeah, all of your buddies will fight you till the end of time. Yeah. Which I think is pretty good. But apparently all the named characters are a bit more aggressive, though. Yeah. They still have the short attention span, but because there was, all... What is it, like 7 of them or what have you? No, 6?
9. Well, if you count the animals without the animals.
The animals like weren't there, so it would have been weird. 6 plus, what's his name? Well, the guy who's the randomly generated guy was also there.
Oh yeah, there was randomly generated
with the blue
guy.
Shirt.
Yeah.
So there was seven of them, and they all noticed me. And it gets more complex than that, because I was like, okay, I'm going to go, I'm being shot at now, I'm going to run into the forest, hide behind a tree, and then let it reset. But they started shooting you.
Yeah, and I was
like,
I'm
like,
no,
bro, you got to hide. And
I couldn't get out. They killed me.
And then Boomer's like, oh, you're down. And he picks you back up, and they go, there he is again. He starts shooting you again.
I managed to make my way to a truck where I just kind of hid until.
And on our way out, I hit the sign, so it is now a nameless diner.
Dude, it was amazing.
I'm really glad that the game has destructible objects, but also that the destructible objects like reset when like you're not near them. Just because like I feel like by the end of the game you just have all these like broken like fences and stuff.
Yeah. Oh man, it was amazing. Anyway, so welcome back to Phoenix Wright.
Mm-hmm.
We're doing the extra special super secret DLC chapter. I think in this one you have to like question. You have to like defend. Defend is the word I'm looking for. You have to like defend a killer whale or something. Thing that I remember hearing.
Last time we saw this intro, I think it was like a stabbing person, but then it like rotates and there's another person, and so maybe there's like 2 murders happening at the same exact time
like
in different
James
buildings.
Bond opening.
It did feel a little James Bondy, didn't it? And then someone threw a knife. There's that. There's the badger. There's someone, and there's a red button behind them.
Some lady.
You know, they've gotten good at like making a smooth sort of indescript humanoid. Because like if they made it accurate, if they made it that the shadowy humanoids were exactly like silhouettes of the characters, then it would just be really cut and dry, right?
Right.
Like imagine how easy the earlier case would have been if you get the picture of the 2 guys shooting, and then it's like, oh, I expanded it, and it looks like X being shot by Y, and you're like, oh, okay. Right, there you go, then.
Here we go. It's been 2 months since Maya left the office.
And they never talked about the pants being too long.
Oh, yeah, that still bothers me. Like, how...
Whose pants were they?
How do you
Were they anyone's pants?
I don't...
I figured those actors are the same size, the same, like, height and everything, so... Why didn't the pants fit?
I don't even know, man. It's seriously bothered me.
It's just one of those maxi dresses for men. How long are these men? They're just all pants. Pants all the way up.
So dumb. 2 months without a single trial. I've had offers, but none I took. That is until the day that girl showed up.
Nah, man, you gotta go a little more noir in that intro.
Oh,
this is exactly a noir intro right there.
Yeah.
You got the rain, the city.
Yeah. February 20th. Hang on, sorry. February 2010 and Kadalofacas.
I was doing the noir sound, but
oh, thanks.
And then it's just a bright and sunny day in here.
Yeah. Why do I come here to the office every day?
Farmville.
Farmville?
That's where he has a computer, and that's where he logs into Farmville.
It's not like I want to work.
There you are, finally! I'm using the Bane I swear I've seen... Oh, right! No, she used to be in... Yeah, she used to be in KHF videos. It was like his a review companion thing. It was the whole thing.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Okay, so basically... KHF McAwesome, who is still on YouTube and still doing stuff, like literally years and years ago, in like his early stuff, which has now like been deleted from the entire internet. In his early videos, he used to have this sprite who was, I think, this lady. That it was sprite animated, so they would like move around with specific poses or whatever. Right. And they would do combine, sort of do like color commentary while he was doing a review.
Right.
And so it was kind of like counterpoints that he himself wouldn't bring up. And it was a fun time. It was neat how he actually like fit the animation in there.
So why is it on the internet anymore?
Basically, he like rebooted his whole franchise, and he was one of those reviewers that like sort of had a plot going on in the background.
Oh,
so,
like Linkara?
Yeah, like Linkara, or like when Phaelus does like Halloween shows or whatever, where it's like someone's in the back.
Conflicts does that sometimes. Not often,
really?
But occasionally.
Yeah, but I love that about like long-going reviewers, that they'll like start adding plots in the background. Well, yeah, he did that and stuff, and so when the episodes were down, I was just like, oh, and he's like, I'm doing a soft reboot. You know, I'm going to college now. I don't know. I feel like he might be out of college soon, considering that it's been like a few years. But like, it's wild because it's like I saw him in his larval state, so like his early years. And what's wild is that like it was sort of this pilot episode of his life where like he was still producing a lot of like neat creative stuff.
Right.
Where it was before he had so much more like polish and stuff. Honestly, I think it'd be really cool if he did that again, where he did anime reviews, and it was animes that were like recent, specifically because I want to know what's going on in the anime world like nowadays.
Right.
Like anime comes out every year, not just in the 90s and 2000s.
Yeah. Does she have a screaming emoji on her coat?
You know, it does look like a screaming emoji.
And beneath that, it looks like an emoji where the eyes are closed and it's laughing.
These are my buttons. I point to them when I have emotions.
I'm like the ghetto version of Wrench from Watch Dogs 2.
I thought Wrench was... no.
Or maybe Wrench is just the ghetto version of Zero from Borderlands 2?
No. Wrench is the wrench of being Wrench. And question mark here, I don't remember her name. But yeah, that led me on my whole KHF tangent where like...
Yeah.
He was, to put it in perspective, I was watching him back when like Ask a Ninja was making new episodes.
Whatever happened to them?
Ask a Ninja transitioned to YouTube, started making way different like videos that were less ninja themed, I guess. I think he, not like unboxings, I forget exactly what he did, but all I know is it wasn't like his classic stuff, and I don't even know if he's still around. He might be. But the thing is, like, once the bread and butter of Ask a Ninja like slowed down, I just wasn't as interested, because I'm like, I don't know what you're doing here, but it's not ninja fantasy related. Like, I want to hear about your weird exploits of fighting a two-faced witch on a mountain. Like that was his thing, right?
probably.
It's like you have to get into fights with the campires, so like vampires, but they can constantly carry around a camera and take pictures of you when you least expect it. Like
No,
that's
with ghosts, and that's just Fatal Frame.
That's the opposite of Fatal Frame, though. That's ghosts. That would be ghosts with cameras that take pictures of you.
Huh.
Dude, what if you were a ghost with a ghost camera? Do you take pictures of normal people or like ghosts?
What would happen to the normal person if you took their picture? Would they?
I feel like you just get a picture of them.
Or would you steal their life force and become alive while they became a ghost?
Yeah, maybe there's like a hipster ghost with a Polaroid and it takes pictures of you and then it like eats the Polaroids.
Yeah. And then it becomes
there's your boss battle for a JRPG out there. There you go.
Anyway, you want to be this chick?
Yeah, I guess. I'm doing all the voices. But I really enjoy the voices.
You're doing like one voice. The episode literally just started.
Yeah, okay, for those who don't know, I do a lot of the voices, but I also like doing a lot of the voices.
Oh, yeah,
because I'll be like, no, you do it like that.
Oh, yeah, well, I mean, you do Edgeworth and you do Gumshoe, and they'll probably show up, so do you want me to do her?
Let me see how I can do this voice.
Okay.
Let's see, where have you been?
He's finding his voice.
For some reason, I'm imagining her with a falsetto British voice, but that's just because that's how KHF did it. Where have you been? My sister's trial is tomorrow.
Well, see, I would have been here earlier, but I'm going through some shit right now. Thing is, I just can't seem to stop fucking everything. I started reading the voice. It's an actual line from the comic. It's not just like one line
it's
either.
Like
it's like
plot
a whole.
point?
It's like a whole plot point. There's this guy. It's called Tech Knight, and he just randomly started just fucking everything, and like
up.
Like I mean literally fucking like people, animals, the car at one point.
That sounds dangerous.
Yeah. It's like a whole plot.
Did his superpowers give him like a hormonal, like an endocrine imbalance or something?
I don't think he has superpowers. He uses like this mech suit thingy.
So it's not even like caused by a metahuman like thing.
Not as far as I've gotten, no.
That just doesn't make any sense.
I think he's starting to realize that he's gay. I think is what the whole thing is, because most of the humans that he's gone and done that to were all male, and whatever else he did it to was either an animal or a car.
That just doesn't add up.
Yeah, and the whole time he's like, keep in mind that this is back when like being gay was still frowned upon. So his therapist is like, have you considered? And he's like, no, I'm not gay. So it's kind of like his whole story thread right now.
That is weird.
Yeah. This was
but
back
I'm
in like
interested.
2006, I think.
Huh.
Yeah.
I would have figured it was before that. But
well, you would think earlier, but I think 2006 is still early enough that that was still...
Yeah, that's like a year after YouTube was a thing.
Yeah, it's a year after YouTube. Shout out to all our gay viewers out there, I guess.
Yes, we apologize for this character existing.
Yes!
in such a fashion.
It's so weird. He like winds up sending his sidekick away because he starts getting eyes for his sidekick, and he's like, "No, that's not a thing I can do." And he like sends them to go hang out with all the other
You're a
superhero
gadgeteer.
teams.
Gadgeteers don't normally have... Wait, maybe.
Batman?
Yeah, that makes sense. I was thinking more of an Iron Man situation.
Yeah, no one in the
A lot of
Marvel
gadgeteers...
The sidekicks aren't a thing in Marvel.
Yeah, you're kind of right. That is odd when you think about it.
I mean, unless you count like Ms. Marvel when she was hanging out with the original Captain Marvel. I mean, even the current Ms. Marvel isn't even really a sidekick. She just kind of took her name from Captain Marvel because
she became like her own thing. I gotta check out that cartoon. Was it like Marvel Rising or what have you?
Oh yeah.
It's got like it's the episodes are super short, but like all the animation budget like went to animation, so it's like really smoothly animated. It's got Squirrel Girl, and she's just amazing.
Yep.
I'm excited.
I like Squirrel Girl.
All right, read this line and that line.
Done. Who are you?
It doesn't. It doesn't matter who I am. It matters who you are. The the famous defense attorney, Mia Fey.
Pretty sure
MIA Fey.
The girl's name. I'm very clearly not a girl.
I thought it was I don't know, a male Italian name or something.
She's dead, dude.
Oh, you're not Mia Fey, are you?
Wow. Okay.
Oh,
well,
I dropped my accent.
Fuck you, I guess. I'm sorry, but Miss Mia Fey no longer works here.
So you are the coffee boy? No, he's across the street. He's the manager now, though.
Well, I always thought it was tea.
Whatever it is,
it's
still glued on there.
Very glued to his hand.
I love this rich cinematic universe that we've put together.
Yeah. It's somewhere in the background of this game. There's just a martial arts worm that just knows all the martial arts.
Look, we know that the judge, when the judge is not being a judge, he part-times as a mall Santa during December.
Yeah, we got the Dozer Clown guy.
We got the Dozer Clown. We got Larry as he's established in the universe, which is that he's always getting into like really like head over heels relationships with gals that will like leave in like a week.
Yeah.
To another country.
Yeah, it's
like,
always to another country. What's up?
Like that's the thing. Like they're just globe trotting.
They're just not good people.
They're just. I don't get it. I feel like. Man, there's just a Larry travel agency right there. Yeah. You know, you go to Larry. And you get like $1,000 from him, and then you go to a place with like a one-way ticket. That's just how it be.
Yeah, don't expect him to help fix your cable or anything though.
Yeah, and don't accept any clocks from him. They're cursed.
Also, I have it headcanon that he is like a big-time stoner dude when he's not.
That's
like,
just because I gave him the Shaggy Rogers voice.
Yeah, but like it works though. Like, just in general, it works.
Have you ever seen a Shaggy Rogers without fear? He's an unstoppable force. He's a creature of pure will.
He just becomes like Ion from the Green Lantern Corps.
I was thinking of the image that came to mind was what is it? What's in the comics? There's the superpowered version of Captain Marvel. Where basically she gets like super doubled up power.
Yeah. Huh?
It's called. Is it binary? I think. That's
she
how
was
she
binary
is
at one point, but
it's kind of like that, or that's what I was imagining, or just her in the cinematic universe where she's just like, oh yes, power on, and it's just this nova of like energy. That except around Larry.
Yeah, you know, Captain Marvel would be great if she just had a better personality.
I feel like there's room there for.
Or if she had
expansion.
any personality.
It's got to be a little more.
Like the movie was so weird because the whole movie they're like.
I feel like
oh,
the movie dedicated a lot of time and energy to Samuel Jackson.
The whole movie they were like.
As much as I love him, like, I feel like he got what? I wanted to prevent you from getting into a whole thing.
No, I wasn't gonna get into a whole thing, but like I was just like. I don't know, like the whole movie they're like, you need to control your emotions and keep them in check. And the whole movie I'm thinking like, what emotions? She doesn't have any. She's like that goblin dude from that one Factual Gaming Facts About Facts video.
Is that a thing?
Yeah, shout out to anyone who knows what the fuck I'm talking about.
I have no idea.
There was a little video where this guy's like, if life were like a Bethesda game, and he like walks into a Walmart and is like,
Oh,
yeah, is like, I am proud to be walking in their same footsteps. Oh, pride, is that what that look on your face is? Sorry, it's just I'm having a hard time reading your emotions because, well, you don't seem to have any.
that was
That's what Captain Marvel felt
yeah,
like
but
to me.
that's like specifically because the Oblivion, like, what's the word, like, graphic system, they didn't seem to get much polish on the facial expressions.
Yeah.
Everyone was kind of, and everyone's skin was kind of weird looking.
Dude, Samuel Jackson
everyone was
on,
splotchy.
Samuel Jackson was honestly my favorite part of that movie.
Yeah,
Because
I mean,
if Samuel Jackson
he
wasn't
can't
there,
he can't do anything wrong. He's just really great.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is that, like, I didn't want him to have to carry a movie.
well,
He was
no.
just there.
It sucks that
and he was
had
great.
to. But he just... Come on, Marvel. Make better female superheroes.
Yeah.
Just get your shit together.
You know,
together,
speaking
Marvel.
of which, the PS4 like Avengers game is gonna have Kamala Khan in it.
Oh yeah, that'll be
It's gonna
exciting.
have Miss Marvel. That's gonna be pretty cool.
It's gonna be cool.
I am excited.
Yeah, we should probably get back to this game now.
We should probably get back to this game.
Yeah.
But
But let me tell you about the boys.
let me. So in the third Jurassic movie,
It's a worm that knows karate.
you should see our. So, are we never gonna, try to clone dinosaurs again? Oh no, we're still going. You should see our new project. It's called the Hubersaurus. We taught it how to use a gun.
It's like how people keep trying to clone Superman in the DC comics.
If I was a clone of Superman, wouldn't I look like Superman?
Well, technically, you're also a clone of Lex Luthor, so you're not really a clone so much as you are a test
Yeah, we
tube
get it.
baby.
You'd have a really sharp jawline and really sharp cheekbones.
Yeah?
And a really round head.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
That hair, though.
That's what I'm imagining.
He's got great hair. You should see what he looks like in the current Young Justice comic.
You were saying that hair, though, and I was like, but Lex Luthor doesn't usually have
great
hair.
What? Oh, no, not Luthor. Connor.
Yeah. Yeah, that
got-
makes sense.
There's this one picture of him where he's got like these shades on and his hair is like super spiky. Oh, did you read that line already? I didn't know you'd read that line already. I'm Phoenix Wright, defense attorney. Oh, Taylor pushed the button. That's why I was confused. I just realized nobody saw you pushing the button for me.
You kind of like forget when I read a line,
Yeah,
and
well,
I'm like,
then we get into
but it's-
Iran, and then you like
and I'm like-
never...
gesturing.
like, dude, push the button. Push the damn button, Shinji. I'm...
Continue the dang plot. Gee.
I'm Phoenix Wright, a defense attorney.
An ace attorney.
I'm an ace attorney.
Right. Wait.
Were her shades just on for like 2 seconds?
Yeah. Just when she, it's like the Catwoman goggles when she activates her like vision mode. It just kind of flicks down.
She's like using some
Did
kind
we
of
talk
X-ray
about
vision.
that? I think we might have, like,
think we
maybe around the
did,
third episode or so.
Briefly.
I was playing a while back. I was playing Arkham Knight, and I was like, wait a minute, how does Catwoman use her like thief vision if the goggles aren't on her eyes? The answer is the goggles are up on her forehead, but if you rotate the camera and look towards the camera, when she uses the thief vision, the goggles sort of go and like flick down over her eyes, and then when you turn it off, they flick back up.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
they're only on when she's using it.
yeah.
Which I was like, I guess that adds up, because that would explain why it's like a filter, because you wouldn't want to be looking through like the reddish lenses all the time.
Alright. That all checks out.
That's why I'd use like clear lenses, or I don't know, shady lenses or mirrored lenses.
Right.
You're the Phoenix Wright?
Yes, I am
The Phoenix Wright from the Edgeworth murder case?
Yes, that is
And
me.
the Larry Butts murder case? And the Blue Corp murder case?
yeah, that guy was.
There's a lot of murder
There's
cases.
a lot of murder cases. Like every case I work is.
I feel like we specifically do murder cases.
Yeah, murder trials.
Like that's just like that's a weird.
Like there's never some guy with a parking ticket or whatever.
just I mean, I figure that we're the kind of lawyer that does like things in the category of like I guess felony crimes or whatever.
Yeah.
So I understand we're not doing like, I don't know, naval law or copyright law or something.
Right.
But still, like,
the fact that they're all murder cases.
Yeah, there's not a I don't know. Give me like a manslaughter case or something. Give me someone threw something hard at someone else and they got hurt.
Just cuts to like Waterboy when Bobby Boucher like throws. No, not Bobby Boucher. It was his coach. The coach like throws something out the window and it like hits the professor guy in the head. He's just like, ah!
If we had an editor, we'd edit that in and it would make perfect sense.
Did you ever see Waterboy?
I did not.
There was this one like professor dude, and like throughout the whole movie, he's just constantly getting hit in the head in like the most nonsensical ways. Like
so he's got the luck of that one guy from Archer who only showed up in the first season.
Yeah, it's kind of like that.
What's that guy's name?
I want to say Brent.
I think it was Brent.
Yeah.
He showed.
Yeah,
I'm glad you brought this up because it like blew my mind where you're like, you know, Archer. So I brought up that Archer is a weird show in that it had like literally 3 different dream sequence mini series to like keep it going while Archer was in a coma.
Yeah.
Like you thought it would end after the first one, but no, they made another and then another.
And then another.
But what's extra weird on top of that is that you look at how the series progressed, and
there used to be a lot more characters.
In the first season, they were at like a whole like agency that at least had like a handful of background characters. But then when they shrunk it after like what is it like running guns or whatever, like they had to like shrink it. And their whole role as a spy agency sort of like became a maybe where they do vaguely spy things when they can, but sort of just get into trouble.
And then they started like working for the CIA. They became drug dealers, and then they worked for the CIA, and then they became investigators.
Yeah, and because of that, like they trimmed it down to just the main cast,
just the core group.
And so you don't have Brent and the sapient copy machine or the sapient copier.
Oh, the toast maker.
Toast maker.
There was the toast maker.
I think there was a toaster or something.
Yeah, he showed up when they became not investigators, when they started working for the CIA. But he was still around when they became investigators, at least for like one episode that I can recall right now.
The biggest question,
that was his name.
I think the real magic behind the scenes is that somehow how's his name not coming to me? Somehow
Cyril?
No, you can tell that Krieger has like the gadgeteer superpower because he continually makes mad science things despite like having like apparently zero funding.
Yeah.
He'll just be like, "Oh yeah, I put this submarine together in like a pond."
How does that sub leave this room?
Oh. Why didn't he just take it apart?
I blew it up. God damn you all to hell. I blew it up.
This doesn't make any sense.
Smoke bomb.
Yeah. You gotta imagine that, like, man, there would be a whole episode where people are just like trying to buy out the old office where, what was it, ISIS I think was the name of their group.
Not to be confused with the terrorist group.
Not to be confused with the other. It was named
or
before
Selena Kyle's cat.
Or Selena Kyle's cat. No, the ISIS HQ, like, imagine like there would be a whole side episode where someone's trying to buy that place and it's got all the quirks of everyone who was living there.
There was an episode where Mallory literally was trying to sell it to Len Trexler.
Along those lines, but then like someone eventually just the real like nail in the coffin that like gets them to not buy it is that they discover like Krieger's lab and they're like, this place is like overrun with like mutant plants. There's like some kind of pig baby man living in the corner.
Pigsley. Yes, that's correct. It wasn't Edgeworth who was murdered though.
That's a relief then. You're better than nobody.
Like nobody who? Nobody from like
Don't even get me
DC
started.
Comics. I think there's a nobody in Mortal Kombat. I want to say. No, I'm thinking of
If there was,
someone else.
I feel like they'd be one and the same.
Well, because there's a character in DC Comics called Nobody. Actually, there's a couple characters in DC Comics called Nobody.
That's gotta get confusing if there's multiple people called Nobody.
Yeah. Well, the most recent one I think hangs out with Damien.
Well, that's because nobody hangs out with Damien.
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I'm not taking cases right now.
But you are Phoenix Wright.
Wait.
Right?
Okay. So Phoenix Wright can afford to not take cases for this song, even though all the people he works for have no money.
Maybe he's got like a lot of inheritance money or something.
Yeah, he's one of those poor lawyers, you know. Well, I forget who it was that said that, but there's a character who made some comment about Phoenix looking like he didn't have a lot of money or something.
Yeah, you know, he's one of those.
It's just one of those poor lawyers.
I guess.
Anyway, your line.
Excuse me, I got a tummy rumbly. But you are Phoenix Wright, right? The
right.
Undefeated defense attorney?
Look, I'm not accepting any new cases. I'm sorry, but you'll have to try elsewhere.
Please, I'm out of time. Look at the time!
But time is a thing that you wear to the wall. You can wear it on your wrist.
It's my sister.
What about your oh. Oh, damn it. You're gonna don't do that.
She's got the same hairstyle.
She does have the same hairstyle. Maya, could it be? Except it's a different color.
Maybe our office is haunted.
Our
office isn't haunted enough.
I like to think that Mia just kind of like hangs out in the office and like moves shit around just to fuck with Phoenix. And be like, that's not where I put the lamp. Damn it, Mia! Okay, I'll hear you out.
Oh, why's my head hurt?
I don't know why it does.
Maybe it's a different creamer in the coffee. Maybe I added too much coffee to the coffee.
You drink a lot of coffee.
It's barely any coffee. It's mostly a protein shake and a little bit of creamer.
Yeah. Your line.
Really?
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Oh, Emma Sky. My name's Emma. Emma Sky. I'm a scientific investigator, and my accent changes when I'm not focused.
So what is the joke in your name?
Emma
Sky. It's like I'm a sky. Like I'm a snake. You ever seen that I'm a snake video? It's like I'm a snake. I'm a slithery snaky snake.
No, it's she's actually a mask that's possessing a person. She's a mask, yeah.
She's what?
A mask, yeah.
A mask. Yeah. Cause she
a mask, yeah.
How though?
Emma
yeah, but like I get that mask is in her name, but like why would?
That's just the best I could come up with.
I mean, I guess if the shades were like a mask.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out how you would wear shades over the mask, but
maybe her shades are the mask.
That would be interesting.
I don't know. It covers about as much as your face as most superhero masks. Most of them only go over the eyes. Makes about as much sense.
There was one of those bumpers with the what was it? The Cartoon Network town. Remember in the days where like Cartoon Network had a weirdly detailed, like a well-detailed, high-budget like 3D universe for their cartoons to like take the subway into.
Yeah, there was the one where there was like Dino and the two stupid dogs, and he was like, "I don't think you're a dog at all."
There's one where Mandy is sitting next to a Raven on the subway, and they say nothing, and Mandy just like gets out on her stop. It's like, it was nice talking with you. Or yeah, it was great, or something like that.
Oh, that makes
Yeah, it was perfect.
makes
And
sense.
but there was, what was it? Rescue. Ooh, I can't remember where I was going with this.
Maybe
Oh, right. There's one that's like a little like urban shop, like one of those shops that's like packed in with a bunch of other like tall buildings.
Excuse me, Jesus.
And it's got a bunch of signs, and Robin walks in, and it's like mask shop sale on thin domino masks, thin black strips on sale.
I think I remember that one.
Yeah, I remember that, and thinking like, oh yeah, that is the funny thing about Robin. He simultaneously like he never takes off the mask, but it's also the smallest mask that you could possibly wear.
Yeah, it's weird.
You thought I couldn't recognize you because I didn't see your cheekbones?
Wasn't that in the
Green Lantern movie? Yeah.
Scientific investigator?
He'd probably be green and animated.
Just don't make it green or animated. Emma, was it? So you're a scientific investigator?
Yes, that's right. Is something wrong? I'm allergic to science.
Oh no, sorry, I'm just allergic to bullshit. No, it's just you seem kind of...
I'm a scientist, not a farmer. I have an even newer with me.
Well, my parents were turd farmers, you know? There's a lot of money in those there turds. Made great fuel.
I guess.
It's from Borderlands 3, do you not remember that?
I remember it now,
Yeah.
and my brain is not accepting it.
No, it's just you seem kind of jumpy, or maybe just
Yeah, young? I'll be... Really? Okay.
16
She's very
60
tall.
years old?
I would be 60 years old.
16.
I thought you said 60.
Maybe I did. I meant 16. See, I thought it was gonna be like I'm actually in my 40s, but I just look young.
No.
Because
Nope. She's just a very tall baby.
she's just like Bulma from
Actually,
Dragon Ball.
no, that makes sense. Because back when I was in like,
Or
what was
Bulma's
it?
mom.
Back when I was in like late middle school, early high school, like girls hit puberty like a little earlier. So there were girls in my class that like they hit puberty first, so they were just like super tall.
Huh.
I'll be 16 years old later. So she's actually younger than...
Phoenix.
Yes. No, she's actually younger than Maya.
I thought Maya was at least 16.
Yeah, Maya was 17. At least from... What's it called? The last time they mentioned her age.
She's like way shorter than this girl.
Yeah. It's a mystery.
Huh.
It's a random part of genetics.
You know, sometimes it just be that way.
Sometimes it be that way.
Oh, I see. Wait, only 16?
I'm set to be formally assigned to forensics in 3 more years. There goes my accent again. My work is becoming quite well known, at my age no less.
So what exactly is your current position then?
Super science person. I do all the science. Well, forensic science, which actually would be really useful, but I guess you'd call me an 11th grader. There you go.
Okay.
But I'm ready to do my job, at my age no less. Believe it.
I didn't think you were gonna go there, but you went there.
That's exactly where you would go.
Yeah.
If you were like a kid going through like a crazy accelerated education and ready to just like jump into like your future job.
Then you would just be like Naruto.
Yeah, believe it.
Except instead of being held back 2 years, you're excelling and you're just as excited.
It's like, I know you want to be Hokage, but like you gotta get some, like there's more steps in between here and there. Like you get some life experience. You learn how things work, and I don't know. You learn how taxes work. You make older friends, and I don't know.
Man, it really spoke volumes about like the cultural differences between like the Sand Village and the Leaf Village, where like in the Sand Village you can be Kazekage at like 17.
Is it? Huh. Yeah, whereas all the Hokages have been...
Yeah, that was the thing that Kakashi actually like talked about in the beginning of the series. He was like, look, man...
Is it like a president thing where they have to be at least 35?
I don't know. But Kakashi said something
like,
about that
50.
like that towards the beginning of the show. He was like, look, man, there's a lot of cultural differences, alright? You're like 12 and you're like a beginner, but like in rougher parts of the world, there are people who were like around your same age and like crazy powerful, but the price was crazy. Like there's the Mist Village where their graduation is just them killing each other until there's only one person standing. Look, man.
How does anyone live in the Mist Village?
You know, they don't have a very big population.
I imagine that's.
And then Meitarumi comes in and is like, hey, I'm here to fix the Mist Village. Look, man, I know that we would have been bad as of late, but
yeah, can we be like a regular village?
I'm trying to
like,
fix it.
We have like kids and they go to school.
And don't talk to me about
up.
marriage, otherwise I'll turn into an insane person.
Don't talk to me about marriage. I'll talk to you about marriage, or I'll work. You finish my joke.
Don't you worry about marriage. Let me worry about marriage. I don't know.
Which is me, not worrying about marriage.
Great. Another future professional in training. The case.
The case.
So what's this about a case? You said the trial's tomorrow.
My sister didn't do it. She wouldn't stab someone with a knife. She wouldn't.
So, it's a murder case.
And it's
always a freaking
it's
murder
always
case.
A murder case, ain't it? I don't care if there's a witness who saw her do it. She didn't do it. I know she didn't do it. It's a scientific fact.
Can you either have
Let
your
me
shades...
say that while we're literally wearing rose-colored glasses.
Yeah, can you either have your shades on or just have them off? Like, can you pick one? Because... and there's a witness?
Just talk to her. You have to talk to her.
Right, I suppose I will. Look, honestly, after the Edgeworth case, there's not really a lot
my new canon for Emma is that she doesn't actually have a British accent, but she tries to put on one half of the time, just for fun. And that's why she's got an inconsistent accent.
You think that's what Botan was doing in the first episode of Yu Yu Hakusho?
The first, like, the early seasons.
She was just trying it out, and then she was
everybody
like, no,
who's into, I guess, looking up anime from the early 2000s and stuff, if you go and watch Yu Yu Hakusho, can you answer me this? Does Botan sound slightly more British in her early appearances, and then it just kind of transitions into a very, like, moderate, very sort of, like, Americanish accent?
Yeah.
I swear there was just a little bit of British there, but it trails off. It disappears like...
a little bit of British.
It disappears like Matt Smith's eyebrows.
Oh yeah, he didn't have eyebrows, did he? That is weird.
I saw a blog post about that. It was like a Doctor Who blog or whatever, but it's like, I'd like to make a post about this anomaly in Matt Smith's eyebrows. Sometimes they're here, sometimes they're not. They're ephemeral things. Something like that, where it's like in the right lighting you can see his eyebrows, but sometimes they're just like missing entirely.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, he's got very fine haired eyebrows.
Yeah. You're alone.
I promised her I'd bring me a Fae, but...
That's interesting. How would she know Mia?
Everybody knows Mia. It was on the door for a while.
Yeah.
I need to find a lawyer who has a little sister that looks like me.
So, you want to be a scientific investigator when you grow up?
If I had an editor, I would edit it so her eyes blink at different times. So it's one of those, like, slow double winks.
Oh, yeah.
And it has, like, that kind of... Hold on. That kind of... noise.
Yeah.
Like, cartoonish eye squinting.
Yeah, a little bit.
Oh, that's my line.
Yeah, it is.
I didn't blink my eyes with the eye squinting noise.
You gotta blink in order to see.
Yeah. Inhale, exhale, blink to see.
What was that one game
Manuel Samuel.
No, 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 but like there was another game. It was like some weird horror game, and it had like a button dedicated to blinking.
I know SCP Containment Breach had that.
No, it wasn't that.
You're thinking of something else, but yeah, and I know what you're coming from.
I remember it being a game that people didn't like very much.
I don't remember. But those in the comments, please let us know if you know a horror game wherein you blink and there's a blinking button. Not to be confused with like a button, I don't know, to like blow out a candle. In which case, it would probably be B.
B to blow.
You gotta hit B to blow.
You hit B to blow.
You got L to light and B to blow.
Yeah.
Excuse me? You are literally a child. You are a very tall child.
You were 16.
You're not. Yes. I'm not a child, to have you know.
Still, it's good to have a goal.
Look, at best, you're a book in the young adult section.
Yeah, you're an adolescent.
You're a Percy Jackson, or a Harry's Potter.
I never saw Percy Jackson.
I never read. No, I've read the first, I think, 6 pages of a Percy's Jackson.
Oddly specific.
Well, yeah, that's I got attention. I got the ADHDs, so
yeah.
I was pretty proud that I got like, I don't know, 10 pages in one sitting, but like,
yeah, that's fair.
And I had the spur to read it because my little sister was like, you should read this, and I was like, all right, I'll give it a try.
All right. Still, it's good to have a goal, albeit a very unusual one.
I believe investigations should be done scientifically. I think they should be done magically.
I think they should be done with a wingsuit and a grappling hook.
I think they should be done manually.
You gotta do it manually.
You gotta do this investigation manually.
Holy feces.
Press
dude.
left and right on the stick to brush for prints.
Dude, is Manual Samuel on PS4? Because if so, then I want to stream it.
How is... You know what's wild? I didn't see the whole game of Manual Samuel. I feel like I did, but it was actually like a demo, and it had been so long that I was like, oh yeah, I don't actually know how that ends. So I went and actually saw a YouTuber who like played the whole thing.
Yeah.
There's more to it.
Yeah, there's a lot.
But I do like its concept as a game, just like all the micromanaging.
Yeah, I think there's like a mech fight at one point, which is insane.
Is it what?
There's like a mech fight at one point.
I think.
Which is insane.
I know that, what is it? I know that, Death has a crush on War. And she's got a shotgun and I think a tank top or something.
Where's a lady?
Yeah, it's pretty neat. And Death achieves his life, or I guess Death dream of doing a single kickflip.
Yeah, he actually.
That's like his goal.
He actually succeeded.
That should be the goal of the Darksiders canon. The funny thing about Darksiders is that they don't have the same 4 horsemen where it's like, you think like Death and War, and it's like, okay, yeah, that makes sense. But there's also, Fury and I can't remember.
Not Pestilence and Famine?
Yeah, it's not War, Death, Pestilence, and Famine. It's War, Death, Fury, and
something else.
Not Spite. Spyro the Dragon.
No, but that's your line.
It's Strife, I think. They're like the more subtle of the 4. Don't you?
Yeah. Sure can't falter for a lack of enthusiasm.
I just realized that's my line. If this case is handled scientifically, I'm sure my sister's name will be cleared. Sorry, I'm still chewing on some Swedish for level. It's a very rich meal.
It's a very rich meal. Dude, I go into a coma after that. Like, I can't even lawyer afterwards.
I don't even know why I'm here right now. I should be, like, taking a nap somewhere.
Your sister?
That's how Geralt of Rivia passes 12 hours at a time. Like, in the Witcher, in the Witcher games.
Geralt.
Geralt. Sorry. Gerald.
Giuseppe.
You know Giuseppe, the main character of the Witcher series?
There actually is a character named Giuseppe in the Boys comic.
Does he make wooden puppets?
No.
Ah.
He's a comic book store owner.
Bro, what are comic books like in the Boys universe? Because you think
it's kind of like in the. It's kind of like the comic books are just comics of the actual existing superheroes, but like in comic book form.
Because, like, on one hand, I like the idea of, like how in the Marvel universe, Marvel comics exist, but they're, like, autobiographical and they're, like, legally binding.
Yeah, it's kind of like that.
But, like, on that hand, though, the thing is, like, you'd still have other forms of fiction. Like, you already got the printing presses, right? Like, wouldn't you just be like, and here is, like, fiction as a general thing already exists. So, like, you'd make some other stuff.
Yeah.
That would be funny because then you'd have a sort of that meta universe sort of deal, and then you'd have like the characters in the Boys being like, "Nah, we gotta. If we wanted to be like ideal heroes, you look at these comic books, not the ones about us, because that'd just be recursive." Oh, look at this guy. He's called the Blue Streak. I don't know.
You're lying.
His name was Titan. It's the only name that wasn't copyrighted.
Ah, that's from.
What it's spelled? Tighthen.
Megamind, isn't it?
Yeah, like
Megamind,
tightening a bolt. Titan.
Yeah.
I've been doing my research now. I've been doing it manually.
Manual research.
I'm developing a new scientific method of case investigation. You know, like, we actually, like, brush for prints and stuff, instead of just, like, sending people to jail.
Right.
As soon as, like, a couple of factors match up.
Yeah.
You know, like the crazy system we've been using. I'll show you when I'm done.
Dude, so, the Boys have their own version of the Justice League, right? Let me tell you about these characters. You got not Batman, not Superman,
Yeah.
not Wonder Woman.
Not Wonder Woman,
Every
not
character
Aquaman,
is just not from DC.
not Green Lantern, but do you have
There's a not Flash.
Dude, what if you just threw a wrench into the works of the Boys universe and had a not Shazam, who was just straight up like Billy Batson Shazam, who's just goofing around and like ruining the grittiness of the story?
Dude, that'd be amazing.
Where like, oh, we got a new character coming up. He's called like Stormfront, and he's like Thor, but he's literally a Nazi. And then just shows up, and he's like, all right, lightning you, and your phone is charged, and your phone is charged.
His phone blows up, dude. What the?
I'm gonna go. I don't know, bust some holes in some walls separating apartheid states, and then I'm gonna fly back here and have a chili dog.
Also, Highlander sucks. Bye.
I'll show you when I'm done.
I'm looking forward to it. Guess I should get down to the detention center and talk to her sister. Relation to Mia.
My sister asked for Mia specifically. This Mia Fey person was a few years below her in school.
So they went to the same school?
So she would be older than Mia.
Yeah.
She always told me to go to Mia if I ever needed a defense attorney. And well, I need one.
Wait, hold on. I was gonna wipe down my glasses because there's something on them, but now I can't find my cloth. Here's my cloth. Found my cloth. Get it.
You okay?
Wipe my glasses.
Oh, you got some...
There's like a big thing on them, and I don't like it.
You should make sure it's not like just a dust thing, because you'd be...
Oh yeah, because then you just kind of
grinding it against...
grind it. Yeah, that's when you gotta like actually
I said
run it underwater.
Wait, did I say the thing about my glasses in the last episode?
Oh, about how you had to get like some anti-glare shit.
Yeah, but I was like, and it takes around like 7 business days, or it's like $160 for like less than 1 ounce of metal and glass. I assume it's because it's made by like all the glasses are made by like a single like Netherlands guy in a basement somewhere, just grinding the glass by hand.
Well, I mean, he's an elf, obviously.
Yeah, he's some kind of elf.
You
know? alternate timeline idea. You have elves that will make shoes for beer, and then they learn how to ferment stuff on their own, and they become like this industrial empire. They're like, wait, we can just make our own beer?
Huh. Never thought about that. Your line.
And I read this line.
Oh, did you? Well, I didn't know.
I always read the line.
Yeah, well, no, you don't. Not
I never
always.
leave a line unread. This is fact.
You have definitely left.
Special challenge: make a supercut of all the lines that I left unread
and
until later.
Yeah.
I always get back to my lines.
Yeah. Eventually.
Yeah, I read a lot of lines twice though.
Yeah. Incidentally, Mia is a woman.
Now that you mention it, I guess it is more of a woman's name than a man's.
Yeah! Well, it's nice of you to help your sister out like this. You must be close. Hmm?
Well, actually, when she gets like she is now, I kind of hate her.
You think it's like a Snow White, Rose Red type relationship from Fables?
The wildest thing about that whole arc, which I got around to reading, or that I completed and stuff. I mean, it's brought up more in Animal Farm, which is the next one.
Yeah.
And I got through that one, and it's that like before the first arc, like there wasn't a relationship there. It was the absence of one.
Yeah.
It was the fact that like she was basically estranged, where she was after Snow found Rose sleeping with her fiance or something.
Yeah.
And after that, they just like kind of separated and didn't like get back to each other.
Yeah.
So like in the comic, you're actually seeing sort of the reboot of their relationship as like sisters.
Well, you get to see more of their history from like Rose's perspective later, and it puts a lot of stuff into perspective.
I imagine.
Huh?
But she's my only family.
Your only family? Your only family? What about your parents?
They were back in the homelands when the adversary.
They were in the old hands when Giuseppe attacked with his
when Giuseppe
magic wind pup.
Famous Pinocchio character Giuseppe. Dude, imagine if like we just accidentally instigate a Mandela effect where people are like, "Oh yeah, Giuseppe, the character, he's the guy who made the Pinocchios, right?"
Oh man.
People like photoshopping old VHSs of like Pinocchio, and like they edit the credits so it says Giuseppe, and they're like, "Look, I took a picture of my old VHS. It says Giuseppe.
This is totally Giuseppe."
They edited later versions of the movie. Oh, Giuseppe.
It's like how Eris later became Aerith in Final Fantasy.
Oh yeah. No, I was thinking of. No, yeah, that makes sense. They according to my stepdad, they died in a car accident when I was little.
According to your
but then I met this big hairy guy, and he's like, "Emma, a car crash didn't kill your parents. It was a wizard." And I was like, "But I'm just Emma." And she's like, "Listen, just Emma, you're a wizard." And I was like, "But Hagrid, I'm just Emma. I'm not a wizard." "Listen, just Emma, you're a wizard. You're going to Hogwarts. You get an owl. It delivers your mail. You're a wizard." "Well, listen, Hagrid, you big oaf. I'm not a wizard. I'm just Emma."
Listen here, Emma.
I just realized that skit has the same exact energy as Potion Seller.
Oh my god, yeah, a little bit.
Potion Seller. I need you to sell me some potions.
You need to do that scientific
You can't handle my
investigation.
potions, Hagrid.
You
They're
cannot,
too powerful for you.
cannot handle the scientific investigation.
They would kill a dragon, let alone a half-giant.
Oh.
Potion seller. You're gonna give me these potions. I'm gonna give you some coin. You give me the potions. I'm gonna get back to my home. So I can put potions in my potion box. No, Hagrid. I'm afraid you cannot. But these potions are far too powerful.
Oh, I cannot allow you to race in this race. This race is too dangerous for me to let you race in this race.
But I must race in this race because I'm racing as speed, and speed I must have. Ha!
Oh, ha ha, fine, but do you know I am not your real father? Ha ha!
How gets pregante?
Oh my god.
Oh man, I'm just full of memes right now.
Oh, I'm sorry. Let's go to the detention center. See what this lady's
How
all
do I
about.
have a tab thing, or not a tab thing? I've got an ID. Emma has an ID, like on the lapel thing of the lab coat. She's got a lab coat, and she's got an ID for the lab coat. She's like getting ahead in stuff.
Did she steal someone else's identity?
No, I mean, maybe we could roll with that.
I mean,
look, she took the passport off of a dead person, and now she's masquerading as
Emma Drake.
As
Emma Drake.
What was the person who died in the first one?
In the first
Larry's first girlfriend.
Oh shit! I don't fucking remember.
I don't know.
I remember.
But she's changing her name to Emma Generi.
Emma Generic.
Emma Generi.
Emma Generic.
Why are you adding a C at the end?
I don't know, cause generic.
That's
naming.
generic. No, it's Emma Generi.
Cause Emma is a generic
Imaginary.
You're imaginary.
There, you got it. You got it in 3.
Generic.
Why would she? Why would she be generically
generic?
Jack?
What's generic to drink?
It would be Emma Gin Eric.
It's like gin, but it's generic brand of gin.
Okay, now I'm seeing the pitch that you're going with this joke, and I'm thinking, 1, I think we're getting a little loopy, and 2, I could actually imagine that, like a brand of gin that's called Gin Eric.
Gin Eric, yeah.
Gin for the I don't know, indiscriminate taste.
Yeah, we're probably gonna call this after we get through this last bit of
dialogue.
We should, yeah.
It's only like 9, but it's like my body feels daylight savings time happening.
Yeah. Oh yeah, your clock was at daylight savings time when I called you.
Yeah, daylight. You know what's wild? Daylight savings time, like, is so dumb, and yet specifically on those days, I always feel off. Where like, it's just like the hours don't feel right.
I don't notice daylight savings time
because we don't have daylight savings time in Arizona.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh yeah, it's only 9 right now, but I feel like
it's 10.
I feel like it's 10.
Yeah,
because my brain has part of, I don't know, Benjamin Franklin in it, going like, hey, we need to save all this daylight. We need to put it in a big vault, and we got to save it for later in the year, and then we take it out of the vault.
Yeah, that was funny because I called you earlier, and you're like, it's almost 4, and I was like, no, it's not.
I was like, yeah, it's like a minute to 4. It's 3:59.
No, it's a minute to 3, dude.
And I was like, what? And then I checked my phone, and it was like, oh yeah, you're on, I don't know, you're on Mountain Standard Time. And I was like, okay, but what about Arizona time? It's Mountain Standard Time, but it doesn't have the dumb stuff.
Yeah.
Daylight savings time is so dumb.
It is. February 22nd, Detention Center Visitors Room! Oh, hi, Emma. I didn't know you'd followed us here. I wonder what's wrong with Emma. What? She literally just told you what was wrong!
So
God,
I want to know who her sister is.
Well, that's what I want to know too. So
I figured we'd see her in the chair instead of Emma.
Yeah, it's kind of what I thought too. She got quiet all of a sudden as soon as we arrived. I want to.
Yeah, you read this one.
Guard! I thought I told you I didn't want visitors.
Sorry, ma'am. It's just your sister. It's really cold in here.
Ah, pox on the sister. No excuses.
I gotta remember to use that phrase instead of like, forget that thing. It's like, a pox upon that land.
Yeah, it's not a phrase you ever hear. Bringing it back.
Bringing it back from, I don't know, the 1900s.
1800s?
18...
Whatever.
One of some kind of hundreds.
Some kind of hundreds.
Any century.
Bringing it back from the Shakespearean era. A plague on both your houses.
Oh, you mean to believe you want us to believe that someone else wrote this and not you, the Shaketh of Spears? We doth not purchase it, sir. We doth not purchase it.
Oh, that's great.
There's the Key and Peele sketch where they're halfway through Othello and they're like, man, this is so good, it's amazing, and then they get through Othello and they're like, why do they gotta kill my man Othello? Why? I mean, it was a tragedy, you know, so, like, you think they might have it going, but, like, still. So they find Shakespeare, and, like, you wrote this, let's make this good. And he's like, well, actually, sir, I did not write it, for it was the work of, I don't know, some other historical writer.
Right.
And they're like, we doth not purchase it, sir. No, nay, we do not purchase it.
We doth not purchase. I gotta see that.
Oh, it's good stuff.
Oh man,
I've been watching all the Key and Peels.
Oh,
I think
yeah.
I'm in season 4.
Yeah.
That's around the time that their bumpers were, instead of them being on a stage, they were on like a sort of never-ending road trip through what I assume is like northern Arizona or Colorado.
Huh.
Yeah.
Neat.
They're in like a old-timey like muscle car or something. And the weirdest thing is that like half the time I think their bumpers are like genuine, where all they do is just do improv and then they just record that. But like sometimes it feels like there's this one bumper they did where they're listening to the radio, where you could tell it was all scripted. One, because you can't improvise listening to the radio. Like, you have to put the song on there, which means that like they had to be ready for it.
Right.
So it felt super off because it was like, guys, this is a bumper. You can't do a sketch in a bumper. This should be improv. You can write a few notes, but you can't do the whole thing. You can't prepare the whole thing. Then I'm just watching a sketch and then a sketch between a sketch. You're breaking the rules. The pact has not been fulfilled.
She betrayed the pact.
You throw the ball, you give the fish.
Or did you not want a raise this year?
Understood, ma'am.
Wait, you control his salary? What was that all about? Why is it so fucking cold in here? Jesus.
It's an old-timey officer.
What the fuck are
Lana.
you?
Hi. That's my line. It says Emma.
God. It's actually Lana.
Hi, Lana.
This whole time I've been settling for Lana.
Lana.
Oh yeah, that's here.
I like your shoulder sandals.
Yeah, they're very nice. I seem to remember specifically telling you not to come here. Perhaps my memory is failing?
My old years at 27.
Is she like facing her back to us, or what's going
No, she just has very long hair that she flipped in front of her face.
Wow, some emo shit, dude. Like,
I'm being facetious? I think it's facetious.
Is it facetious? I don't know.
I'm being silly, but using a fancy word for it. Look, I didn't want to come here either.
Someone crank up the heat in here. Everyone in here is like stuttering from coldness.
Oh man, we are repeating stuff like it's Lady Gaga up in here.
Well, I mean, when it works.
But your trial's tomorrow, and you still don't have a defense attorney.
I'll be the one in court tomorrow. This has nothing to do with you, Emma.
You bring it up a little bit?
I'll be the one in court tomorrow,
No,
Emma.
no, I mean like volume-wise.
Well, that's what I was...
She's got like a military uniform. She should be very direct and audible.
Oh, yeah, you're right. She was facing away from us.
Yes.
Ah.
I was joking. Of course she was
Oh.
facing away from us.
Well,
Why would she just have a solid wall of hair like that?
why would you have the hair like a unicorn, like you always do when your headset's on?
I don't know.
Isn't that right, Mr. Wright? Hey, how do you know me? Mia mentioned you. I've heard quite a bit. I'm sorry. What exactly is it that you do? Wait, so is she the older
I do it
sister?
all. You want it done? It's done. All right. Do a thing.
Do a thing. Do something.
Just this long awkward pause.
Do something.
Just did. What did you do? I helped you.
It's done. Did it. How about now? Yeah, now works. Earlier would have been better, but early is over.
Are you drunk?
Not drunk enough.
There's your 12-ounce mouse. Hold on, I gotta put that on the bingo card. You read the line.
12-ounce mouse. Oh, hey, look what I found. I gotta do this first. Go, 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 go.
Tell you what.
My name is Lana. Lana Kane. I mean, Sky.
Lana Lang.
Lana Lang. I'm chief prosecutor for this district. Yeah, you're the prosecutor?
She's got a medal with a sword on it.
Two sisters, one a lawyer. Could this be a coincidence? Emma, Lana, I mean, they're just like...
Yes, it's super weird.
Yeah, it is weird.
It's like the Force Awakens up in here.
Yeah, seriously.
It's parallels.
Parallels.
Oh, this is my
everywhere.
line.
Yes, it is.
Something wrong, Mr. Wright.
Yeah, so I think we're gonna call this here. Gonna save it.
I think we're gonna call this here. Oh, hello. Yeah, hey, clown. You should, can you bring the dozer around? All right. You just, and he doesn't even hang up. You just hear the.
No, it's kinda like...
gonna hang up? Oh no, I'm nearby. You just wait. You just hear the engine.
But it should have like cartoon sound effects though, so it's like zap 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 zap.
Oh no, yeah, it makes the cartoon jalopy noise like. It makes that like sort of like coughing noise, like cars cough.
It's like...
Hold on, let me put this 12. No, do I write out 12 or is it?
It's the number.
It's
the number, and then it's like OZ period.
Yeah, 12 ounce mouse.
12 ounce mouse, 12 ounce mouse, 12 ounce mouse.
Are you drunk?
Not drunk enough. Out of my way, I'm drunk as hell. I'll blow your ass away like I'm bringing a bow.
By the way, number 9 on our list is anime. I'd like to addend that it does not include if we're playing a game that is anime,
then it doesn't.
The anime, that game itself does not count.
Games and animes are separate, even if the game is an anime.
However,
game.
if we were talking about the Phoenix Wright anime, which does exist,
then it would
that
count
would count.
Anime.
Yeah.
Which we gotta watch that.
I feel like we should.
Yeah. Anyway, thank you so much for watching our. Thank you so much for watching our stream.
We got at least 5 of these. We got Metal Gear voices. We mentioned Fables. We did. Well, that's at the bottom of the list. We got Dozer Clown. We got It Was Me.
It was me.
System Mastery. Mispronounced number 1. I've tried to order these by like
how we do them.
How reliably we use them. Number 1 is mispronouncing intro cards. Number 2 is System Mastery. For some reason, number 3 is TED Talk lyrics, but that should be way lower.
Yeah.
And then It Was Me, and then Dozer Clown.
Yeah.
So, thank you so much for joining us this lovely evening. I maybe this is like the cosmic balance of streaming writing itself, because our last episode was 3.5 hours long.
You know,
honestly, I wish we could split that episode and then just slap it onto this one.
You know, my sister suggested doing that, but I don't know how to do that.
I mean, one, we'd have to do editing, and as y'all know, we can't do editing.
Nah.
We just don't.
We just
I mean, if we had an editor, that would be really great.
It'd be great, but we gotta make money before we can hire an editor, unless we find someone who wants to just like be part of this project with us, and we'll just do it for free until we like start making money.
Look, I would pay an editor. It's just like it wouldn't be very long hours.
Well, yeah, it wouldn't be.
It would be very simple. It would have to be simple as possible. That way, it's not something that takes up the whole day. Therefore. It's simple enough. But yeah, I'd be
yeah.
At least they'd be like, just the editors like, man, I'm really glad how they provide like instructions and stuff, because it's like, oh yeah, go to 41 minutes in, add a little hand sticking up from the behind the booth that has a gun in it. And then make it disappear slowly lower behind the cart. Okay, now I need a stock image of like a Nokia phone with a hand holding it, and then it's just got in like black LCD text clown. And that'll be it. That's all the editing, and then we'll just have the end bumper, and I'll just pay individually. I'll just pay for the end bumper, like commissioning that whole thing, and then you can just slap that on to the end each time.
Right.
There you go.
Anyway,
would be wild as if I left it up to creative interpretation, where it's like I mark those places and I'm like, here's what like I'm paying you for, but if you want to go outside of that, and add something that is really funny, hit me up.
Yeah.
If that gives you energy, then you can do it.
See what kind of adventure your brain takes you on.
Barry, edit that in.
Thank you so much for watching our stream.
Thank you so much for watching our stream. I've been Taylor.
I've been Lujik.
Remember to take care.
Stay awesome.
Have a beautiful day.
And we'll see you next time.
And keep your mics plugged in.
Yes, that too.
Bye. Bye.